Hi, this is Project Board. It's a lightweight tool for organising tasks with dependencies. So what I'll do for this demo is I will just clone the demo project just so we have a bit of pre-built information, but you can open an existing project either from here or from your recent projects, or you can create a new project and I'll just make it blank. So I will call this one demo project. I will give it a location to save and it will now open up. So it opens up to the tasks view by default. So we see here there's a bunch of information on tasks. So they have tags. Tags exist globally. So the MVP tag is the same everywhere. So if I wanted to, for example, rename it, I can rename it to E1.0 and it will update everywhere. If I decide actually I don't want this tag anymore, I can either remove it and it will move it from just that task, or I can delete it and that will delete it from the whole project. So that task doesn't exist, or that tag doesn't exist anymore in the project. So we'll also see the statuses. So it starts at not started. If I click on start, it will move it to started. If I click on complete, moves it to completed. If I click on reopen, it moves it to started again, and then complete, etc. So I see here that there's also alerts here, and they were changing as I was completing stuff or moving statuses on. So at the moment, this is blocked. If I double click to open that up, or I could click on details, it opens the same window. We'll see that that is saying it's blocked because it has a dependency here on create endpoint of /API/user/login. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's blocked because this task hasn't been completed. That's what it means. It's blocked because you can't work on it. So therefore, the start button, you can't use it, you can't change statuses because the dependency hasn't been completed. There's also another alert here I can give you. So if I complete this and then I start this complete, but then if I say I find a bug in this in the development, and I then need to go back and work on this endpoint. If I reopen that to work on it again, there's now an alert stale. So stale is not enforcing anything in here. All it means is that if I double click on this again, see that has now shown that the dependency is causing the staleness. So that means it's because this task is completed, however it has a dependency that isn't complete. So it's just a warning. It's saying you might want to go back and review this. It's not going to enforce anything in the task flow. So what I'll do is I'll add another task, just call it test. So because there's no dependencies, I can actually add a dependency if I want. So it will only give me dependency options that wouldn't create a cycle. So on this one, although it has no dependencies yet, I can only add test. And that has added. So we can now see that because that's added, this is now blocked because this one hasn't been started or hasn't been completed even. So the last thing I'll show you that you can do with this is you can edit the description. So the description is using Markdown. So I could add something, how to make this, step 1, step 2, etc. And you can add things in Markdown. So you add headers, subheaders, lists, etc. So that's how the tasks work. You can also filter them. So there's filters here. So this one hides any completed stuff. This one hides any blocked stuff. And this one hides any stale stuff. So if I click on all three, it gives me that exact goal I had. I can see all the available work straight away. And I can click on reset to reset all the filters if I want. So if I go to the notes section, I can also view any notes I have. So if you don't have any notes open, it'll just give you a little bit of info as to what you can do. By default, in the demo project that I've cloned here, it gives me a note here, just a little bit of idea of what you can do again. If I add a new note, let's just call this design ideas, and I'll put some stuff in here. So let's just put some stuff in there. just so I can show you how the search works. So the searching, it searches stuff inside the notes. So if I search for palette, it will find this because that's in the text there. So that's very useful for, if I have model names around places and I want to be able to find something. And the other way you can find things is by what's in the note name. So if I search for note, it'll find this one because it's called my note. So that was everything. Thanks for watching.